Hello everyone and welcome into Coach Craig's Sports. This is the NBA DFS Core Pick video for Friday, December 6th. If you're joining me for the very first time, first of all, welcome in. Second of all, this is how today's video will be structured. We'll be going over my core picks for both DraftKings and FanDuel. In the morning, I'll be posting an injury report for all 7 games. There are 4 teams that are going to be in back-to-back, so those ones will have injury reports updated later on in the day. I'll be posting injury updates down in that comment section throughout the day, as well as all these starting lineups and an updated core about 20 to 30 minutes prior to lock if there are any changes at that point in time. But without further ado, we'll get right into it with the DraftKings side. We're going to start off at the point guard position with D'Angelo Russell of the Los Angeles Lakers. And we already know that Austin Reeves is going to be out for this game. Good matchup versus the Atlanta Hawks. There may or may not be LeBron James in this matchup, which would give some additional uses to D'Angelo Russell just in general. He was in our core picks on Wednesday. Unfortunately, the Lakers got massively blown out in that game, so it was not a good game for him and most of this Lakers team overall. But at $5,400, we're looking for 27 out of him. Currently, I'm projected for 29.30. Definitely has some upside for more, especially if LeBron James ultimately ends up missing in this game as well. Then at shooting guard, this was kind of my last pick for the day. I just need somebody that was kind of cheap here. So Kentavious Caldwell-Pope is who we're going with of the Orlando Magic. $4,100, looking for 2021 out of him, averaging just under 19 so far in the season. Been right around that 20-point mark as of late, so just kind of a solid, cheap filler guy here. We'll see if anybody else value-wise opens up throughout the day. But at least early on, I like him here for about 21. Decent matchup versus the Philadelphia 76ers. Could have some upside for more, could have some downside for less. But once again, just kind of a cheap filler guy to put in our lineups with some of the other plays that I do have here today. Then at small forward, we're going to go with Lauri Markkanen, $7,000. Looking for 35 out of him, averaging just over 33 so far in the season. Good matchup versus the Portland Trailblazers. Should be a pretty good pace-up spot just in general. And Lauri Markkanen's been playing better as of late, so at $7,000, looks to be undervalued. Like I already said, looking for 35 out of him. Currently, I'm projected for 38 tonight, but definitely does have some upside for more at the same time as well. Then on the opposite end of that matchup, we're going to go with Jeremy Grant of the Portland Trailblazers, $5,700. Looking for 28, 29 out of him, averaging just over 28 so far in the season. He's been doing pretty well as of late. Was a little bit banged up at times to start the year, but playing big minutes, playing really well, so good spot here. Should be a pretty good pace spot just in general. I do like Jeremy Grant quite a bit. Currently, I'm projected for 30 DraftKings points on this slate overall. Then we're going to move down to the center position with Anthony Davis. So I'm going to assume that LeBron James is out for this game. If he's not, then maybe we swap Anthony Davis over to a different center value. But Anthony Davis, $10,200. We're looking for 51 out of him, averaging just under 53 so far in the season. It's an okay matchup versus the Atlanta Hawks, but if LeBron James is out, he's going to look really good overall. You know, if LeBron's out, probably going for 56 or more. But if LeBron ultimately ends up playing, probably going to get right around that 52-point range. So it looks like a really good value either way, but definitely do like the upside of Anthony Davis, especially if LeBron James is out once again. But with that being said, if you go with the 5 players that I do have this year, you have $17,600 remaining. Just under $5,900 remaining per player. So looking a little bit more like a balanced build day the rest of the way. We'll see what other value does pop up as the day moves along though. But with that being said, we'll move over to FanDuel and talk about my core picks over there as well. So once again, we're going to see a familiar name at that point guard spot, Chris Paul, $6,200. Looking for 31 out of him, averaging just over 30 so far on the season. Goes against Sacramento Kings. Decent pace spot for the most part. If this game remains competitive, Chris Paul is going to look really good overall. Currently, I'm projected for 31. Just kind of that solid, safe play at that point guard position once again. Obviously, if you want to swap over to somebody else, definitely does make some sense. I know D'Angelo Russell is here once again, but he's up to $6,300. So the risk is a little bit more hefty for him just in general. Then we're going to move down to our shooting guard position with Brandon Podziemski once again. $5,600, looking for 28 out of him. We'll see if Steph Curry plays in this game. I think he's going to play. I think based on what I read, it was more of a rest day on Thursday to play on Friday. But if Podziemski's out there, if he's playing big minutes, if he's in that starting lineup, he's going to look pretty good overall. Looking for 28 out of him. Currently, I'm projected for 29. Could have some upside for more. Could have a little bit downside for less. Obviously, a lot of that does ultimately depends on how many minutes he ultimately ends up playing in this game overall. Then at small forward, we're going to go Paul George. He is $7,700, so we're looking for 38, 39 out of him. So far on the season, very small sample size, averaging just over 34. Obviously, he's dealt with a couple injuries here and there as well. He looked really good in his most recent game. Currently, I'm projected for 41, 42 in this matchup. A little bit of a tougher matchup versus the Orlando Magic, but definitely do like the upside that he could have if he is looking anything like normal Paul George at this point in time, which, based on his most recent game, I would lean more on the side of him looking more like normal Paul George. Then we're going to move down to power forward with Jeremy Grant, $6,000, looking for 30 out of him, averaging just over 28 so far on the season. Goes against Utah Jazz. Pretty good pace-up spot here just in general. He's been playing pretty well as of late. Currently, I'm projected for 30. Might have a little bit of upside for more. maybe a little downside for less, but I definitely do like this matchup for him just in general. And then last but not least, we're going down to Anthony Davis of the Los Angeles Lakers, $10,600, looking for 53 at him, averaging just under 53 so far in the season. Once again, there is the possibility that LeBron James ultimately ends up missing this game. If that's the case, Anthony Davis is going to look really good at that center position, probably getting 56, 57 out of him. Obviously, we get a little bit more upside on FanDuel with the blocks that he could have on any given night. And if LeBron James ultimately ends up playing, probably right around that 52, 53 point mark. So looks like a solid play if LeBron plays. Looks like a really good play if LeBron ultimately ends up missing. But if LeBron ultimately does end up playing, we might swap over to a different center. But with that being said, if you go with the 5 players that I do currently have listed here, you have $23,900 remaining, just under $6,000 remaining per player. So looking a little bit more like a balanced build day once again. We'll see what other value does ultimately end up popping up throughout the day. But with that being said, that's what I do have in terms of my core picks for both DraftKings and FanDuel. As always, if you have any questions related to NBA DFS, be sure to drop them down in the comment section below. Once again, in the morning, we'll be listing the injury report. Obviously, 4 teams on back-to-backs, so those 4 teams will have their injury reports later on in the day. I'll be constantly leaving injury updates down in that comment section as well as the starting lineups as they do come out throughout the evening. And then my updated core will be posted about 20 to 30 minutes prior to lock as a pinned comment. If there's any changes to be had after that point in time, will be left as a reply to that pinned comment as well. But with that being said, if you are brand new to my channel, checking out for the very first time, or have yet to subscribe, please consider doing so. Definitely would appreciate it. Helps to build a community that we're trying to build here at Coach Craig Sports, which is one that's truly for you, the viewers, helping you with your DFS. Right now, we have NBA DFS in terms of the core pick videos, Tuesday through Friday. And then I also have my NFL DFS player pool video coming out once a week, typically on Saturdays. I know it's been a couple weeks since I was able to get one out, but that will be returning this week, so definitely on the lookout for that. And then last but not least, if you're interested in sports betting, if you're interested in prop betting whatsoever, be sure to check out the links and promo codes down in the description below for Parlay Play, Prize Picks, and BetUS. If you're a brand new user on any one of those 3 sites, when you sign up, make your initial deposit, you will get a first match deposit bonus. For Prize Picks and Parlay Play, it's a 100% match up to $100. And then for BetUS, it's a 125% match up to $2,000. So some pretty great opportunities to be had out there. If you have any other additional questions related to that whatsoever, feel free to reach out to me, whether it's down in the comment section of this video or on Twitter at Coach Craig Sport, and be more than happy to help you with that journey as well. But with that being said, that's all that I truly have for today's video. Definitely do appreciate each and every one of you tuning in. Definitely means a lot to me. I hope that each and every one of you have a great rest of your day and some pretty good luck in NBA DFS for Friday, December 6th.